Hi again everyone, Jeff Piroozshad here, and thanks for joining me for another MOTIV Bowling Ball review video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the MOTIV Supra. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting the subscribe button. You can opt in to free notifications for when my new videos are uploaded. The MOTIV Supra has an RG of 2.60, a differential of 0.050. It uses the infusion cover stock that was on the ripcord, but this is a pearl version, not the hybrid version that the ripcord had. The core is the high impulse core that was on the Primal Rage series. We're going to be taking a look at two Supras today. One of them has a pin above the ring finger, about 2 inches above it. It's 60 by 4 by 25, and that's this ball here. So what is the Supra? The Supra is a clean, flippy ball that's appropriate for medium volume conditions. It has the infusion cover from the ripcord, as I said, but instead of a hybrid, this is a pure pearl. This makes the ball much longer, much cleaner down the lane. It stays on line a lot longer than the ripcord does. It's a weaker overall ball on the ripcord, and it can't handle the oil as much as the ripcord can. However, because it saves its energy a lot better, it's a much more angular ball. You'll see that the Supra has great length down the lane, and it hits the dry, and it basically just goes sideways after that. Very, very angular ball for when you need to, mostly for when you need to play left, and maybe the lanes are drying up in your league, and you need a ball that you can just send to the right, hit the dry, and you know that it's not going to lose energy or lose any power, and be able to come back and hit the pocket and carry. So if you either bowl in a drier league house, or if your lanes in your league dry up a lot, or if you're bowling tournaments, you need a ball for later in the block, the Supra is going to be a very good choice for that. So to compare the second Supra that I drilled, you'll see the pins above the bridge. It's 50 by 4¼ by 40. Now, it's only 1/4 of an inch further from my axis than the first Supra, but you'll see that there's a big difference here. This ball hooks a lot earlier than the second Supra did, and it revs up a lot more in the mid lane. This will allow the ball to read a little more oil, and it also smooths out the transition from the oil to dry a little bit. The back end is also going to be a bit straighter, because the pin is a little farther left towards my middle finger than the first Supra, where the pin was above the ring finger by 2 inches. And you'll see that because of that, even though it's a small difference, the putting the pin a little lower and the moving it over to the left really does give the ball a lot more of a straighter back end, which is we call standing up. The ball stands up a lot better in the back end. So if you don't want as angular of a back end, maybe the back ends are really flippy and you need something to play left with and send it right, but you want the ball to straighten out a bit, this might be a more appropriate drilling for you. So here's a couple of comparisons. First, the ripcord itself. You can see it's a much earlier ball. It's a hybrid, not a pearl. The ripcord comes with a little surface on it out of the box, but even if you shine it up, which I've already done after I filmed this video, the ripcord still is going to hook a little earlier. It's going to be appropriate for maybe a higher medium volume conditions. It can handle some oil. The Supra doesn't like the oil that much. It needs it to make its big flip to hold energy, but it needs the dry to make that flip. Now here's the Venom Shock Pearl, and it's pretty obvious that the Venom Shock Pearl doesn't hook anywhere near as much as the Supra does. It's a much weaker core, and you can see the label on the Venom Shock Pearl. It's basically staying in the same place almost all the way down the lane. It doesn't flare as much. It's a much weaker core than the Supra has. The Supra, as I said, it's got a differential of 0.050. That's reasonably high for a lower end ball, so it does flare a lot. And that gives the ball a good fresh cover on it for when it does hit that dry, it hits that back end, and it helps it make that really sharp motion. So if you're looking for a ball that you're able to play left with, send it to the right on some drier conditions later in tournaments. Maybe your league lanes dry up a heck of a lot like mine do, and you need something for the end of the night. The Supra is definitely a ball that you should look at, and it'll probably fit in your arsenal pretty well. So again, thank you to MOTIV Bowling as usual. Also, thanks to Carlos Dabon at the Kegel Connection Pro Shop here in Fort Lauderdale, always drilling my stuff and helping me with my fit, and I'm thankful for that. And until next time, which should be pretty soon, we've got a new video coming. Thanks everybody, and see you later.